Happy Halloween to my audience of And since it's Halloween, time for me to play a spooky game. Let's see what I remember stumbling across as a kid with unrestricted internet access in 2010. Doing these videos gives me an excuse to play these games I've always wanted to try for years. So without further ado, here is Land of the Dead, Road to Fiddler's Green, and its genetic twin, Day of the Zombie. Oh, it's November! Land of the Dead is a 2005 film directed by George Romero as part of his unofficial Of the Dead series of films. If you're wondering who that is, he created the modern zombie as a concept with his 1968 film Night of the Living Dead, and a decade later with Dawn of the Dead. I haven't seen Land myself, and what I'll do is use its tie-in game to see if it'll get me interested in the film. Land of the Dead Road to Fiddler's Green was released in late 2005 for the Xbox and PC. As a budget title, I think. Developed by Brainbox and published by Groove Games, it is certainly a game where you shoot zombies that uses Unreal Engine 2. The story here is that you are this farmer. I don't think he is ever named. It is his journey into the eponymous Fiddler's Green, an isolated walled-off settlement on an island that acts as a safe spot from the zombies. The story starts out in his farm, and as he puts it,
later that day, I noticed a stranger in my yard. Something wasn't right with him. The way he was just standing there. I went out to see what he wanted.
Plot twist, it's a zombie. Anyway, first impressions. Aiming in this game is awful. It feels awful no matter what I set the sensitivity to. Either it's too abrupt or too sluggish with no in between. God, this FOV is awful. I'm not one bothered by low FOV, but this is just bleh. I think it gave me slight motion sickness, and there's like no way to change it in the game. I would have changed it in the NA files, but I planned to do that when I closed this game and took a break, but ended up beating the whole thing in a single sitting due to how like short this is. So let's get a gun in the attic and shoot the zombie. What? Why is it not firing? Oh. Firing isn't mapped to anything by default. So yeah, now more zombies showed up out of nowhere and I'm out of ammo. Good thing this guy has more in his shed, but needs a key which is in his basement. So time to find a key to that since both doors to it are locked and... where the hell did this guy come from? Did this redneck kidnap a guy and lock him up in his basement? Wait, is he black?
Oh no!
I don't like the implications here. This guy's living situation is weird. He seems to be in complete solitude in his farm. No family or even friends to speak of. His house is pretty empty as well. All his cupboards have nothing but some painkillers.
I'd never killed no one before, so I sure was real spooked.
Yeah, I believe you, strange guy living completely alone in this farm. With a thick Dixie accent who had a kidnapped black guy locked up in his basement.
This is what a cornfield looks like, honey.
So he goes through the cornfields to visit his neighbor to check what is going on, and oh hey, it's a zombie apocalypse.
One moment, folks. Something has just come across my desk. I'm getting reports that I'm having trouble reading this bulletin, but I've been told this has been confirmed by official sources. It appears that the dead are coming back to life and eating the flesh of the living.
This is the only time you'll be hearing someone other than the redneck guy, by the way. He stays locked up in his farm for what I presume is only a day considering how empty his kitchen was, before going out to the city out of desperation. And when he arrives, he notices an SOS signal coming out of an hospital, and goes there. Road is blocked, so he has to take a detour through the sewer, of course. Anyway, time to talk about the combat in this game, and how the guns feel, and how it feels to use melee weapons. They suck. Guns feel like bee shooters, and a few that don't, like the shotgun, are slow. Same can be said about the melee weapons. Early on in the game I got a fire axe, never looked back. Project Zombie taught me that the fire axe is king against zombies, and this applies here as well. It's the only weapon in this game I feel like was constantly reliable. Because it feels like the game just randomly decides how much a zombie can take before being killed. One shot straight to the head will take down a zombie, but the zombie right next will take 4 headshots, if not more, with the same gun. Doesn't matter if it's wearing armor, or what model the zombie uses, or if it's a special type of infected or not. The only time it is clear that a zombie was going to be a hit sponge was when they were carrying a weapon. Movement sucks as well. Describing it as being at a snail's pace would be an understatement. Now, some people might defend all this, saying that oh, you're supposed to be weak. You're supposed to feel overpowered and weak. That's tension. You're just some random farmer in the zombie apocalypse. To which I simply respond with, no. For there to be actual tension, there has to be a sense of danger and the zombies have to be an actual threat. But they're just total pushovers, so you can't make that argument. All it does is just make the whole experience tedious. Atmosphere is important as well, and this game doesn't have any. Audio is underwhelming stock sounds, boring ass stock horror music, and the game looks so grey and dull, so lifeless. And with that, all my thoughts on this game are done. Skip to this if for some reason you don't want spoilers for how the rest of this game plays out. But don't skip out on the rest of the video. I've got Day of the Zombie to get to. That game actually surprised me with how much of an improvement it was. Also, don't forget to like and our redneck Mitch, the guy in the hospital. Turns out he's a scientist who lost his military escort and got himself locked here. And they also didn't have the budget for an extra voice actor, so our protagonist is just providing narration.
The doctor said that if I went to the basement, I could open the door by
So he sent you out on a fetch quest to get a key card and override the locking mechanism and oh, turns out that was a waste of time because now he's a zombie and the building is on fire. So we escape and head to a police station that's one of the few safe houses in the city. And when we arrive, it turns out that they didn't have the budget for friendly NPCs. Just enough for one. He meets Otis there, I'm fucking bored of this game. This game is boring. Let's speed this up. We help provide Otis cover as a sniper as he tries to grab a truck for us. He's fucking stupid and unable to defend himself. But oh no, he has abandoned our redneck friend.
I saw him wave and yell something. All I caught was theater, and then he drove away.
He heads to the next safe house, the theater, but same story here. The place has been overrun, and after clearing the place he falls asleep right in the auditorium, out there in the open. He wakes up and meets up with Otis again, who tells him of Fiddler's Green, an isolated safe community, and we head there. We escort Otis and oh no. As we're on a boat to Fiddler's Green, it's revealed that he was bitten. We have to put him down.
I'm bleeding. They got to me.
So, we arrive into a miserable turn sequence over there. We impress the owner of Fiddler's Green and now we have to clean up this place of any remaining zombies and boom. That's the end of the game.
That's how I got from the farm to the top of Fiddler's Green.
Yeah, this doesn't make me want to watch the movie. Land of the Dead, Road to Fiddler's Green. More like Plan of the Dead, Road to Middler's Green. Well, this game functions. It is playable, but it's absolutely boring. It's the worst kind of bad. Just avoid of dullness. If there's one good thing I've heard about this game, it's the multiplayer. The servers still seem to be up, but no one I talked to wanted to play this with me. There are better zombie games out there, from the same time as well, that you could be playing instead, like, I don't know, Eternal Damnation, the free Postal Doom mod that does a way better job at being a zombie game on Unreal Engine 2. Play that instead. Now, Day of the Zombie, it is identical to Plan of the Dead, Road to Middler's Green, and I do mean it. Exact same mechanics, the exact same guns, exact same zombie models, reuse assets, same fucking loading screen hints, same awful FOV that you can't change. I could go on. But there are a few minor changes here to the gameplay that make this a huge improvement over Road to Fiddler screen. Movement isn't completely sluggish, and it isn't completely random how much a zombie is going to take before being downed. And it doesn't look completely dull and lifeless. It actually has personality as well, more on that later. This right here makes this a way better experience. I mean, I won't call it a good game. It still feels rather lifeless, though not as much as Fiddler screen. So I guess it's more of a zombie. That wasn't funny. So you may think this is a reskin of Road to Fiddler screen, but it's actually the other way around. Day of the Zombie was actually developed prior, and apparently was ready for an October 2004 release after a 4-month development period. But it was shelved as Groove Games got the rights to make a game based on the upcoming film from George Romero and repurposed Day of the Zombie into Land of the Dead, Road to Fiddler screen. My source for this is Moby Games and a 2005 interview from IGN where they don't name Day of the Zombie. I don't have much to go off of since this is a really obscure game. So what happened with Day of the Zombie? It remained shelved until for some reason in 2009 it got a release in Russia only. Or that's at least what is reported. So I'm not sure if this even got released at all. For all we know, it could have leaked, fucking materialized out of thin air in 2009, and someone claimed it was a rare Russian release. I honestly have no clue. I'm not even sure if this is the same game that was set for a 2004 release as well, as it feels like they learned a few things, wrote to Fiddler screen and made some changes. So, Day of the Zombie. What made me remember it all these years back when I stumbled across it on YouTube are the cutscenes. Motion comics narrated by the best possible campy evil voice imaginable.
Our plague doesn't go unnoticed by the military.
This guy should have completely narrated Road to Fiddler screen instead. It would have improved the game by a significant margin. These actually made me remember that this game was cel-shaded, but it's not. It definitely is more colorful and has more style than Road to Fiddler screen. Not that that's a high bar, since that game made Gears of War, GTA 4 and other examples of 7th gen cray lifelessness look like Jet Set Radio. I'm sorry to report that these cutscenes the most memorable part of this whole game. There's only like less than 2 minutes of them in total in this whole thing. They only appear at the start and end of each protagonist's story. Oh yeah, the protagonists.
As our day begins, Johnny and his roommate Susan are preparing for midterms. Then the plague began. At first, Johnny fears for his safety, blocking himself in his dorm room. But what of his pretty girlfriend?
Hi, you reached Erica. Leave me a message.
Erica, it's Johnny. Something crazy's going on. There are goddamn zombies on campus. I know that sounds insane, but it's definitely not a prank. I hope you're still at the library. Hang tight. I'll be there as soon as I can. Call me when you get this.
First off, we have Johnny, a college kid on a quest to find his girlfriend Erica. The zombie apocalypse has just begun, and this is how this place looks. Either he was so busy with his studies that he didn't notice the zombie apocalypse breaking out, or there's some serious neglect going on here. Is this one of those shitty Midwestern colleges where 99% of the funding goes to sports? Anyway, each of his levels start off with him calling his girlfriend and her not picking it up. Surprisingly, cell service is still functional. He keeps desperately calling her to no avail.
You reached Erica. Leave me a message.
Erica, it's Johnny again. Why aren't you answering your phone? You need to call me back. I've just made it to the library, but this place is in ruins. I'm gonna start looking for wherever you're hiding. Don't let anyone in unless you hear my voice. I'll see you soon.
Damn, I wonder if she had been dead this whole time and this whole endeavor had been meaningless. And would you look at that?
Unfortunately, some stories end in failure.
Johnny boy? You can handle this. You've taken on bigger hurts than that. Oh yeah, spoilers. But like, who cares? Next up, we have this janitor at the same college.
The janitor of Fencott College, subject to ridicule from students. When the plague begins, his only thought is to save his precious school.
The power just went out.
Hawkarf Martin. What kind of name is that? He hates the students here, but for some reason, probably due to some kind of attachment related to a mental illness, it's really like attached to the school itself. Seems like he is abysmal at his job considering the state of his place. He sets off to save various precious valuables and the building itself during the zombie outbreak, so he has his priorities in check. Each level of it is just a fetch quest, where he grabs various important pieces of school property. Actually, there is one exception. Second level has him get a shotgun that he has given the pet name of Bessie.
Oh, Bessie. Did you miss me?
You know what, I don't think he even acknowledges that there's a zombie outbreak throughout. He just starts killing what he thinks are normal people with no hesitation, as far as I can tell. Anyway, his story ends with him stopping a gas leak from breaking into a fire in the same dorms that Johnny started in, and that's how it ends.
Some stories end in victory. Or so it would seem.
Yeah, and they do reuse levels with some minor changes for each of the 3 stories. This is a low budget game after all, and I think they made good use of what they had, at the very least.
Our plague doesn't go unnoticed by the military. But even heroes have their limits. What happens when one man is left behind?
Next up, we have a soldier left behind as a sole survivor as he tries to regroup with another squad. Unfortunately, due to a lack of budget, they're all already dead. And higher command has announced that they're going to nuke the whole town, so he just decides to GTFO on a boat. All 3 of the protagonists play the same and have the same health and speed, but the game gives them different loadouts, so at least there is some variety. Johnny has a baseball bat, laser axe, a revolver and Molotovs. He's supposed to be the light attack speed guy, I guess. Then the janitor is a tank with his arsenal consisting of a hunting rifle and a shotgun. And the soldier guy is just soldier guy. He has a sniper rifle and M16 and grenades. I don't know where I was going with this. Oh yeah, he escapes after an anticlimactic battle in the docks.
Victories are fleeting, however, and no one shall survive the day of the zombie.
Oh, so that's how we're going to end this.